Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather, bringing you a quick forecast update. We have a winter storm on the way. There it is down to our south, already providing numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and tornadoes warnings there down to our south. Some severe weather going on. It'll be severe for us, but not severe on that side, severe on the winter side. It looks like some portions of Kentucky are actually going to get hammered with some major snow totals. Us in Indiana here, it's going to be a little bit more limited, but do think some of us are going to get some pretty decent totals out of this. Here's basically what we have going on. You've got an upper level system right here. You've got another upper level system down here. That's already spawned us. This first system down here has already spawned a surface low. That surface low is going to track this way as we start to head through the nighttime hours, and the energy from that is going to be absorbed into it as it goes. As it does, it'll rapidly deepen and spread a little bit to the north, and that's going to eventually spread this precipitation column all over the area here where we're going to see some snow out of this. So that's the general gist of what's going to happen here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here on future radar and get you an idea of what's going on. There's the rain down to our south. This is our short-term model. This is the HERM model. This is the highest res model that we have available. And you can see by the time we go into the overnight hours, there it comes into Kentucky. In fact, you can already start to see a little bit of a freezing rain event going on down there for Kentucky as you go. That'll quickly transition into a snow threat, though, as the morning goes on. And as we get into the early morning hours, here's about 7 Eastern time here. We're knocking on the doorstep of the Ohio River. By the time you go into 8 o'clock, the HER model's already got snow crossing north into the Ohio River. This is a little more north than what some of the other models are showing. So that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on for that northward trend. I have a feeling this was going to sneak maybe just a little bit more north than what they were showing. I still think there's some very big questions on how far north we can go. We have an Arctic high up to our north that's going to bring that dry air in and try to suppress this system and may eat away at some of those totals. And, a low is just never going to move a high. That's basic meteorology. But I still think with a deep low, that precipitation shield can go a little bit more north than what a lot of the modeling has been showing. So do you think there's going to be some snow falling for some people in southern Indiana, but some people are going to completely miss it? And because of that, well, the National Weather Service is already issuing their warnings and advisories. Winter storm warning there in pink, winter weather advisory here in the purple. And you notice a lot of counties in Indiana not included in this. And that's because confidence is just too low at this point that we're going to have major snows out of it for you that are not included in this. And so for that reason, you're not in it yet. Doesn't mean you necessarily won't be. We may see those advisories or warnings expand for other counties or even change. Some of these winter weather advisories could become winter storm warnings for heavier snow if things change. And the National Weather Service, of course, will keep monitoring that overnight, and they may make more changes to it. We'll update you, of course, as we get those coming in. But for right now, that's where everything stands. By the way, here is that low pressure, and you can see this is also wind speeds associated with the low. There it moves up from the south, and by the way, here it is right here, and this is a whole lot more northward shift to it than what some of the models had been saying earlier in the week. In fact, I have a feeling on this trend it may get as far as even to up here before eventually the low pressure that's developing off the coast down here is going to suck the life out of this, and it'll basically transfer its energy down to there. How far north can that low go will sort of depend on how far north it can spread its precipitation shield into Indiana. Right now, that's just going to be a watch and see kind of a situation for us. Let's update you on the probabilities for snow. Probability from the Storm Prediction Center here, Weather Prediction Center rather, of at least 4 inches of snow. Slight risk over most of southern Indiana, that moderate risk creeping in there. Go to 8 inches of snow, and still for the counties along the Ohio River, you've got a slight risk of 8 inches of snow. Even that 12 inches of snow slight risk, it's all into Kentucky there. It's a little close for comfort. Northwest shift could shift that back as well, so something that we will most certainly keep an eye on. By the way, if you just take a look at the models really quick, the models have been unhelpful, and here's the reason why. Here's the GFS. It does show some snows for southern Indiana, but if you look at the NAM, notice it cuts it back a lot more. The high-res NAM cuts it down even further, but you notice a sharp gradient in these. This forecasting 10 inches for Louisville, but you go over here to Crawford County, and there's absolutely nothing, and this is only a difference of 30 or 40 miles here, so extremely sharp cutoff with this makes for a forecasting nightmare. On top of that, you've got these that are, are not showing very strong totals for southern Indiana. But you go to the SREF plumes, which the SREF plumes here, short range ensemble forecast is what SREF means. And these are generally very conservative, but uh, these generally are conservative, but look at this. They are for here at the weather office here at Huntingburg Airport. Look at this. We're talking. This is the last 4 runs, the average of them, and you can see anywhere from almost 6-7 inches of snow, according to that. If we go down to Evansville, you can see that it's even a little bit more. It's averaging basically 6 to even sometimes up to 8 inches of snow there. If you go over here into the Louisville area, well, it's averaging between 10 and 15. So again, and by the way, if I just take you back and you look at these, you can see the spread in the data, what we have to deal with. This is the mean. This is the average of all of the runs. But if I just put all of the runs put together, there's the spread. Next to nothing, a whole lot of them together here to produce a mean, but then you can go all the way up to 15, even 17 inches. The spread on these, you usually do get 1 or 2 members that are just extreme, but you usually don't get this many. So that is one of the reasons why this storm system has me worried just a little bit. Could we be way off on that? We'll know a little bit more tonight as we watch the HER models come through. Because of that, I've upped my snow totals. I'm not going to go this extreme yet. I like the means over here, but I think they're a little bit more in line with this. But adjusting everything down here is what I've come up with as the best guess I can possibly come up with. So here is my updated snowcast, folks. In the white, less than an inch to be expected. In fact, there's questions as to whether you can even get snow this far north with that Arctic high pressure suppressing everything down. We'll just have to see. Here in the first blue shading, a general 1 to 4 inches. Yes, that is a large spread. Typically, I only have 1 to 3 inches in the spread. I went with that extra. And, if you're asking me, well, how much am I going to get in Jasper or in Paoli or in Salem? 1 to 4 inches. I can't tell you you're going to get 2.5 inches. Just can't do it. That's what the point of the range is. You could get 1, you could get 4. Don't focus on the low or on the high end. It's a range for a reason. Around the Louisville area and points going on down here, Harrison County, Crawford, Perry County, where you've got the winter storm warning going on here, even up into Clark, 4 to 8 inches as your general range. And then, of course, as you get into Kentucky, that's where you get the mega snow totals over here, 7 to even greater than a foot as you start to get past Louisville and closer towards Lexington and onward. Looks like a major snowstorm for them, minor as you tread more to the west. So that's where things stand right now, folks. Of course, I'll be monitoring this all evening long, and we'll have you updates as new data comes in. I'll update this snow map if necessary again, but this is probably the best educated guess I can get at this point. Beyond this, folks, it's nowcasting. It's going to do what it's going to do. Keep it tuned right here to Southern Indiana Weather for continuing coverage. I'm highly confident that there's going to be major snows here in Kentucky, but I'll be honest with you, folks, for Indiana, especially for this line on eastward, it's not a great confident forecast for me at this point. Lots of spread in the data. This is the best guess that I can come up with. Folks, I'm not going to tell you that this meteorologist has all the answers, because the reality is I don't. And if you hear a meteorologist saying that they've got this system figured out, they're probably lying through their teeth to you. Very complicated setup, folks. We've got to use some humility. We can't always get it right every time. We're doing the best we can, folks. This is what we can come up with, but just keep it here to SouthernIndianaWeather.com as we go throughout the night and throughout the day tomorrow. We'll provide you updates.